Hello, guys. We are finally back. It's been about a month since I've continued this, but we are getting to it again. Um, so our goal here was to create the hair card version of our Groom, which is this. We created our fill layer over the past couple videos. So that's our matching fill layer and cards. Now we are going to move on to creating the body. This is that. Obviously, this top area will be other layers. We have other layers here. So let's get started. So to get started, we need to have guides for our cards. So let's get rid of that. Now we're ready to start placing our cards. We need to set up a clump using our existing stuff. Okay. So this was our clump for the fill layer. So let's reference our body. So we want to create a clump that's kind of similar in terms of the density. And there's some variation, obviously, but we can adjust that a bit, the width of the clump a bit. Which it's not going to be perfect, obviously, but it just needs to be close. So I'm going to start by duplicating. These are all the pieces we made in the beginning. Individual cards. Just duplicate that one. Duplicate that. So just looking at it, it's the clump we have. Looking at our clumps here. I want to get the tip nice and tapered looking. And I feel like that density is going to work for now. Again, in the end, we can always come back and add some density or reduce density or make adjustments to the clumps themselves in the original scene file where we baked and generated these textures from, and just make adjustments to those. But for now, I think this is good enough to get us started. It help to taper these a bit. I'm adding it to layer 8. I'm gonna get rid of these because let's make a new save. Okay, I saved it. I'm gonna delete those extras from the fill. Now, when I look at this is like a lot, right? I don't want to just do like a lazy quick populate everything, to be honest. I kind of want to do it step by step. So okay, so to reduce complexity and make this a bit easier, let's just move these to the side. Let's do an even number. Maybe 40. Let's start with some of these inner clumps, these shorter clumps. Zero that out. So So first issue that I'm seeing is we didn't add enough subdivisions, so let's do that for the rest. Increase that to 25. I'll keep the width divisions at 3. I don't really need to optimize it, but normally if I'm really care about optimization, just set that to 2. But 3 is better for like to keep the textures looking cleaner. It helps alleviate some texture warping that can happen. Another issue, I believe, is that these are backwards. So let's see what's going on with that. There we go. Maybe that means we should go into our options, say flip UVs before bind, maybe. Okay, so we need to add subdivisions there too. That looks better. Yeah, this pretty much is working. Okay. I think that's adequate for that. And if you're worried about like any graininess in the texture and stuff, the solution to that will probably end up being to just make the strands a bit thicker, but we won't know that until we get into Unreal. But from what I'm seeing, I think it's fine. It's just, again, Maya isn't the best with transparency, alpha textures, and I mean, at least in the viewport. And then it's also having to blend it with the hair strands too. But let's turn that off. Excuse me. So, apologies. My throat's a little messed up still. I'm been a little sick, so just a little unpleasant to listen to. I'm sorry, but I'm obviously gonna start with all the shorter ones, and I'm gonna not do like just one at a time, but I'm doing like 4 or 5 at a time just to speed up the process a bit. I'm just moving this a little bit so it's not clipping, even though it's probably clipping in the Groom. But since I noticed it. Okay. You can see it's like this is gonna be more of this most of the video. So let me do a couple more, then we'll pause, make progress, and then we'll unpause. I'm gonna be doing like one side at a time basically, but I just brought in both sides, so we'll do right side and left side. I'm gonna mute my mic so I don't. All right, so one thing I want to point out is you can see how it's blending pretty well with those the fill layer already of what's already there. We barely started anything. We still have all this. Obviously, I don't know how far I'm going to get into this in this one session, but let's just keep going. So I am going to pause it here in a second and then resume the recording. But one nice trick to get like these lower layers in is just to highlight everything and then hold control and take your marquee and start deselecting stuff from the top. And then you can have like, okay, I'm going to do all this next layer. Probably not going to do all this, actually. I'm just going to do one section at a time. But that's just something you can do if you want. I want to fix those little sections. So I feel pretty comfortable just using the smooth without highlighting those specific CVs, is because these are pretty dense curves. So if the curves aren't as dense, then I wouldn't do that. But we're not making too many changes to the curves as is. But yeah, here's a good place to pause, and then we'll resume. Okay, so it made a bit more progress. Let's see. If you don't like the way it looks with the current rendering setup, which we have depth peeling gives better, like, in terms of the Z fighting, it gives better representation of the layering, but you can switch to like object sorting. It's simple, it's not too good. But you can try some of the other ones. It might give you alpha cut's terrible. Don't use alpha cut. Object sorting would be the other one if you want to get another representation of what your card groom is looking like. Just keep in mind, like, when you start layering up more, it's not going to give good representation of the layering. It's going to have some weird Z fighting issues, to which case I would go back to depth feeling with 100% quality. That's how we're looking. It's blending pretty well with the fill layer. So I'm already getting a little tired. I'm still a little sick, so I'm not going to work on this too much longer today, but we'll do a bit more. I'll keep it on object sorting for a bit. So this is where you need to be careful, because if you do too many at a time, you're going to lose track of the curves. One way to alleviate this, I have my curve width, right? Oops. So one way to keep track of what you've already worked on is just to add thickness to the curves. And so okay. So I think this is gonna be the longest one. This is gonna be the layer that takes the longest. So I'm gonna break here for now because I just don't. I've lost my motivation. So um, yeah, we'll try and continue this next weekend. This last month was just kind of crazy in terms of catching up on work and meeting deadlines and things. So working weekends and things. So, but yeah, we're making progress. Again, you can join the Discord for help on stuff. Obviously, I can't answer every question. I don't know the answer to every single potential problem you might run into because it does happen sometimes that people will come in with a very unique problem and I don't know. But in those cases, I have seen other people be able to answer those questions that are in Discord. So it's still worth joining and someone may be able to help you out. But yeah, this is our progress so far. It's blending well with the fill layer. I think once we get all the rest of this layering in, it's going to start to look pretty good. Again, we're just replicating this body. And then ultimate goal is to get the full hairstyle in as cards. All right. I'll see you next time.